Wait a minute, wasn't Ayrton handling the soundboard?
Yeah, Ayrton's handling the soundboard,
So,
so we have no intro music.
so we have no intro music.
Yes.
Like I could go
Dun,
pull up
dun,
the
dun,
an
dun,
old.
dun, dun, dun,
I,
dun, dun, dun,
I
dun.
I could
Wow,
go
wow,
pull up
wow,
an
wow,
old
wow.
episode and like recite the opening recitation.
No, it's okay. It's
Okay.
okay. Nobody wants that.
Yeah. No. Look,
Anyway.
there's this place where some guys have some opinions about comics, and they have them a noisy service where they throw rocks at the windows and scream, and we call it the Gospel of Comics. And
Excellent. It's almost like you're mirroring the exact intro there, Rune.
it is.
Congratulations.
I'm channeling it from beyond.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Gospel of Comics. I'm your host, the Church of Failure, and not with me, as always, tonight is Ayrton McCartney. Nobody knows where he is. Probably drunk in the back of an alley somewhere.
Antifa finally found him.
Oh, God. Rest in pepperonis, Aaron. Ayrton, you died right on time. Anyway, I'm also joined by RuneKnight and Larry, and also Ryan Haack of Bric-a-Brac is joining us again to talk about his third installation. So, how are you all doing this evening?
Good, good.
Awesome.
I am comfortable. I am wearing my Christmas jammies.
I just Cowboy Bebop, the live action series,
Oh, okay.
My
Yeah.
and my day has been ruined.
my my mom is a strange woman. She buys me Christmas gifts, and then it's like 2 weeks to Christmas. She's like, here. It's like, what's this? It's like Christmas gifts. It's like, mom, Christmas gifts are for Christmas. It's like, I
Look,
know
don't-
what I want to give to you now.
Don't knock it, man. I can't do the whole hold a gift the entire time
Yeah.
thing.
No,
I mean,
No, I get
since
it.
we got a mixed religious household here, I got mine for a late Hanukkah, early Christmas.
But I am now sitting here wearing a Baby Yoda T-shirt that says nap time, and
Okay.
and I am
I mean, that's pretty dope.
and I'm wearing Baby Yoda pajama pants because Mother has
I-
decided that this is the Baby Yoda Christmas. Apparently,
Well,
I am
it is
Rogu.
it is the hot merchandise.
Yeah, but my mom picked it because my mom's like, "Oh, that's cute." It's like, well, I mean, it is Ma, but Ma, really? Am I what you think of when you think of cute things? It's like, no, but I got it for you. It's like, you got it for you, Ma, but it's okay. I will wear it.
I mean, you are Mrs. Rune's baby boy, after all.
Indeed. It's actually funny. I was looking for an old comment on the Twitter space, and the first mention that came up was me apologizing to Mrs. Church for making you yell. It's like,
Oh, is that when we got into the gay Superboy comic?
I mean, we make Church yell at least once a week, so I can't keep track.
I mean,
But-
he was really yelling that comic.
He was.
Oh no, my wife was at her mom's that night. This
I'm
was
just
something
saying.
else you made me yell about.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm just saying that like there's an extended support network of parental figures out there around the gospel telling us to behave ourselves.
Anyway, now on to the actual guest who I was really asking the question to. How are you doing this evening, Ryan?
I'm awesome. I'm happy to be on your show again. You guys always talk about really interesting things. Like, you guys were talking about RoboCop, and I really don't know anything about RoboCop, to be completely honest. Or Cowboy Bebop, for that matter. So it's kind of interesting to hear your thoughts on the series and stuff like that. So
Well, Larry tortures himself so we don't have to.
That's right. That's right.
It's actually exactly that because everybody's like, well, Joe, you should check this out, and then we should talk about it. And it's like, no, I'm not going to. I know that's a dumpster fire. And now here's Larry going, I watched it. Let me tell you some things. And it's like, Larry, why do you hurt me like this? Larry, why do you hurt me like this?
You see, I'm slowly building up myself as a writer, and I'm learning more about writing by looking at bad things and saying, well, why is this bad? How did this fail? What parts of the process all came to a bad end? And then I from there extract, thoughts and ideas and premises to make something good.
Well, I mean, this ties into something that I shared with Allison last night. I said, Allison, I'm going to share this with you because I don't want to put it in the general because it will make people cry. It will hurt them. And Allison was like, oh, so you decided to hurt me privately instead of hurting everyone publicly. I'm like, no, I'm sharing my pain with you because I think you can handle it. It's this meme that people put together of Ralph Macchio saying, will you teach me, Mr. Miyagi? And Mr. Miyagi says, no, I don't believe in karate anymore. Leave me alone. I just want to die. And then it cuts
Ryan Johnson's Karate
Kid. Written and directed by Ryan Johnson. And it's like, yes, that is too real.
That's exactly how it works.
I give up. Yeah.
No, speaking of Mr. Miyagi, I actually really did like the reboot Cobra Kai.
Season 4 is coming.
Yeah, I've heard. I definitely want to see more of Eagle Fang Dojo.
It's I mean, over time, the episodes vary in quality. They're obviously on some level, like they have that mid-season stretch because they need to make 10 episodes.
Well,
right?
The thing is though is that they have 10 episodes, but what they don't really have
is that thing that Church is not allowed to say because the forces that be have muted him.
No, my 4-year-old's being a pain in the background.
Well, no, I was going to say the show still has consistently good characterization, so you kind of forgive some of the weakness of plotting because you're more interested in like what is the next episode going to bring forward about a given character.
I mean, it's a sports drama, right? There's not a whole lot of plotting you need for that. It's the characters are going through a personal journey, and that personal journey is, kind of characterized by their struggle with the sport. And they learn.
Actually, what I was going to
said someone who has not watched Cobra Kai. Carry on.
One thing that I was going to say, the thing that they don't have that we actually are blessed to have here on the show is a Christmas episode.
All right.
We have with us Ryan Haack, who has done Bric-a-Brac, and I'm still disappointed that his Twitter name is not Ryan Haack of Bric-a-Brac.
It should be now. I can change it, right? You can change it.
It's
But we've got issue number 3, and you've done one of these annually for the last 3 years, haven't you?
That's right. Yeah, since 2019, I've done a book every single year. Yeah, so it's this will be the third one. Yeah.
Well, I mean that's pretty fantastic. Now, give us a rundown. I've got the campaign pulled up on screen for everybody. You want to watch the intro video real quick?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if you'd like.
I approve of the idea of a planet Christmas.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Well, I hit play. There we go. Okay. It's short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah.
You definitely, if I remember correctly, the first video was a little bit long, and that was one of the things is like you gotta grab them, and just trim it down.
Yeah, the first I think it was like 2 minutes or something, and finally we worked out the, kind of just giving you the bare necessities, like what kind of like is it a children's story? What's the tone? What's this? And you can definitely do it in 30 seconds. Like, if you think about like movies have these TV spots and stuff like that, which kind of gives you the tone really, really quickly. I think that if you think about it in that way, like it's a 20-second small commercial, then you can do well. It doesn't have to be incredibly elaborate or anything.
Yeah, I might have to get this onto the Super Bowl next year. Wow, how short can I make it?
Yeah, exactly.
And
5 seconds.
I also like that it is incredibly authentic. I'm sitting here reading the description, which I think Church is probably going to recite any second.
No,
now.
I'm scrolling down. If you would like to take the honors.
The wages of war. The Nutcrackers have never been closer to taking over planet Christmas. Since the ignominious Caesar Demetrius supplied them with advanced weapons and technology, the wooden soldiers have been an unstoppable force against the under-equipped militias and civilians who desperately fight to defend their homes. It's like, this sounds ridiculous, but it is presented with such earnest realism. It's like, yeah, no, this is actually the problem. This is actually what's going on. It's like, I'm down. I will put aside that my brain goes, Christmas book, really? Because it's like, no, I want to see the war for Planet Christmas. This gets me.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a fondness for the concept of Planet Christmas because I played in the Doctor Who role-playing game where there's a Christmas planet run by Santa.
What?
Oh,
I had no idea.
Yeah, and I've had several fun experiences in the context of a Doctor Who story saving Christmas.
Well, I like it because in a Star Wars game, a friend and I were absolutely ridiculous because we like to give an idea. So we proposed that there is a planet Lucha, which is ruled over by luchadors, and in order to become the king, you have to fight through a card. You have to
El Chimichanga de la Molete.
Yeah, and literally the plot was that a wandering brawler was approached by a defeated king, who's like, Planet Lucha has been taken over by El Senor Bane. You must save us. And it's like literally Bane from DC. We didn't care because why would you? It's just so you can have crazy guys in costumes having fights in your role-playing game. It was fun. And that's the important thing, is that this is fun.
Well, there's an actual deep lucha libre history in Hellboy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
and, I do have the Deadpool lucha figurine that is El Chimichanga de la Muerte.
I mean, let's be serious in our ridiculousness here for a minute, and ask Mr. Haack. Mr. Haack, what were your inspirations for Bric-a-Brac? Like,
we've had this conversation before, but I don't mind rehashing it. I just want to say that the thing that drew me to this story in the first place is the stupidly unique art style to it. Now, is this the same artist that you've had on all three issues?
Yeah. It is the
that
same
consistency is key.
Yeah, it is. I think especially when you're trying to make a brand for yourself and you want people to recognize it when they see it on Twitter,
You guys can see on screen just some of the gorgeous artwork in this book, and it just I saw the first one and I was like, I don't care what this book is about. It's too pretty not to want to look at.
And I mean, we've all read the run of a book that's like, it's only a 12-issue maxi series, but right after issue 6, for some reason, they change artists, and how freaking jarring that is.
Oh yeah, that sucks. It definitely sucks. Yeah, it definitely is not fun. Yeah, I mean, I want to, continue with this artist as long as I can. Raphael is his name, and he's just so talented. And I've been saying it. One of the inspirations, I'll speak to that, is finding him. Finding his art style and realizing wow, that story I kind of had in the back of my mind. He is the only person I know who could tell it, probably in a good way, in the best way that I know, and he really captures the childlike moments, the childlike wonder, and then also the emotional moments, and he really just gets the tone that we're going for, and the ridiculousness, but yet somehow it's kind of grounded in a way, it makes it, I don't know, it's kind of plausible in some respects in the universe that we've kind of created. all the ridiculous war and this kind of like these larger than life characters. And yeah, I mean, I would also say, speaking to the inspiration, you know, a lot of the characters were inspired by Rankin Bass, you know, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Those specials kind of added to a Star Wars aesthetic. So not only in aesthetics, but like in terms of the plot, in terms of like how the way that battles are you know, sequenced, the way that the story is told is kind of in like a Star Wars aesthetic, but yet with those ridiculous, goofy characters from, you know, those puppets from those old movies. So it's just kind of a really, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before, like where you take, you kind of put those characters into a serious comic book event. And it's something that I think I've accomplished. A lot of people seem to like it. So yeah.
I'm just, give me 1 second here. All right, just had to. My StreamYard being weird in the background. You guys continue talking. Everything's fine. I'm just.
Yeah. So I really dig this because there are a lot of crowdfunding comics that are out there, but they're mainly made for older adult / maybe teenager audience. This really feels like it's an all family comic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
it falls into that all ages category that I really enjoy. And I'm just looking down the perks here. I don't know if it's something that, because it's something that I've always advocated for, but I'm not sure if it's something that we talked about when you were on the show last time or not. But I see that you have the Boys and Girls Club tier.
Yeah.
I really love seeing that kind of stuff on campaigns. It's like Doug TeNapel always does one for military. You know, a lot of people are getting into this habit, and I really do enjoy seeing it. See? Just being a bitch.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing to be able to do, I think, because, you know, for a disc, you know, I give it's going to be 3 books or 2 of every book. So one, you get 2 of the, you know, to eat whatever chapter of your choice. I think that's a really cool thing. We'll try to make it work. You know, sometimes during COVID and all this stuff, a lot of them may not accept. I've had that happen, whereas like one chapter won't accept gifts and stuff like that, or like from outside. So, you know, there's certain things that we can try to make work. You know, I'll try to, if it's a church you want them donated to, or a library you want them donated to, we can all make, you know, we can make it work. But it's just a really cool thing, I think.
Right. Oh man, no, I've always really enjoyed this idea. And now here's something. I didn't read issue 2. I've read issue 1. Have you incorporated the elf on the shelf yet?
I really don't know what that whole phenomenon, like what exactly the elf on the shelf is. You know, I mean, see it around and stuff.
It's
but
essentially,
I'm not...
well, the elf on the shelf lore is that the elves are sent by Santa to watch your kids right after Thanksgiving and make sure that they're being good and prepare for Santa to come.
Oh, okay.
And the whole gimmick is you have the elf, and it moves around your house in different places and in different scenarios. Like, inevitably, once a year, my elves get together and play cards with all the action figures.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's fun.
Well, I heard there's also like a Christmas pickle. That's another tradition too. Have you guys heard of this?
Like, yeah, a lot of bar owners are actually getting into a Grinch stuffed animal, and they call it the Grinch on the bench.
Oh yeah, okay.
So,
yeah, I'm from New York, and they just had a SantaCon. So if you've ever heard of that, like it's basically like all these people start in Lower Manhattan, and then they're dressed up in Santa Claus costumes or Grinch costumes, and you have to. That's the whole thing. Like there's thousands of people that gather in Lower Manhattan, and they work their way up Manhattan and go to all the bars and stuff like that. And this was yesterday. So as you can imagine, like by 4 o'clock or 5, they start at 10, and by 5 o'clock, people are just trashed. You know, so it's just, I don't know if it's not something I would ever want to do, but it's just like pretty crazy to see that. see that going on. But it kind of whatever you just said reminded me of that.
It sounds like the kind of competition I am made for, though.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's honestly like pretty crazy. Like people show up and of all ages show up, and it's interesting. I mean, the trains are crowded, and you see people throw up, and it's all that kind of stuff. So, and actually, I've heard of some bars that they won't let people in who are wearing red or green or white. They won't let anyone, like, at a certain point, they just stop letting people in entirely. Because you can imagine that the drunk people are really obnoxious. They don't want to leave, or they don't tip you.
Well,
or
it's
whatnot.
also it's also a regulation thing. It can cost you
Right.
a liquor license to serve
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
who's overly intoxicated. So
Mhm.
you gotta really kind of walk a line with those kind of competitions.
Yeah,
And,
it's a weird thing.
A lot of charity rides and whatnot, like when the bikers go bar hopping and they do like state cross rides where they'll hit bars and play poker and do stuff like that. They have to limit themselves to like one beer every stop kind of thing.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you just took shots after shots, that you wouldn't be able to ride your bike.
Oh no. Yeah, I completely. Yeah, it's a weird tradition. I'm not even sure why it started, but it's interesting, I have to say. But what you said reminded me of that.
People don't ever need a reason to gather in mass numbers and get shit faced. That's just something we're naturally inclined to do as human beings.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but this time with the Santa costume, it's interesting. That's what I'll say.
Well, I mean, every year we all do it in green anyway, so why not red?
Right. That's right.
So, you're 10 days in on this campaign. This is
Yes.
your first 30.
Yep.
Okay. Already at a healthy 68 backers.
Yeah.
Almost a third of the way there. So you're not doing too bad so far.
No, we could definitely do better, but I'm happy for what I got. I'm just trying to get on many shows as possible, spread the word as much as possible. Seems like that has always worked. So
It's the grind, man.
it is a grind. It's 100% a grind. Yeah.
So you've got a $30 physical bundle. You get digital and physical copies of everything, and a print.
Yeah, the print, by the way, is the image I just released today. I changed the main cover image. It's not that one. That's the main cover. It's the one below it. This is the one I just put it out on Twitter today. It's the good
The guy standing on the pile.
Yep. Yeah, that is the print that everyone will receive if you buy a physical book. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that print a lot, and you're showcasing one of the cool characters that is going to be, really in the forefront of this particular issue.
Just for something to kick around for issue 4 or 5. If Santa ever needs to call in reinforcements, talk to your guy about like a small army of elf on the shelves.
Okay.
That are actual size, but they swarm.
Yeah, I like that.
They're called the Watchers because you don't see them. They just sit back in the corner on the shelf watching, and by the time you see them, it's too late.
Yeah. Little tiny footprints.
They're technically not stalkers though, because you're aware that they're there.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Well, if they want you to be.
Right.
They're like the Weeping Angels in Doctor Who. If you see them, they can't move.
Because I mean, technically, they're watching all year. They only make themselves known when they have to get ready for Santa to come.
Right, because they want you to be on your best behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're the Vanguard of Krampus.
This is actually based on a Frank Rosetta, the Conan, obviously the Conan image, like everyone knows.
Oh yeah.
This is, if you kind of think about it, like it is kind of similar to that, where like you have the big guy on the mound of Christmas. In Conan's case, he's on a mound of skulls, and there's like a naked woman next to him. But he's just on like a mound of burning Christmas stuff, and then his knights are surrounding him. So Frank Frazetta kind of throwback, if you can see it.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
He had so many good pieces with Conan, though. It's kind of hard to find
it's
that
kind of the most
particular
famous one. He's like on the but you know when you see it.
Oh, I know the one. I was just trying to pull it up so other people could see it. If you want to link it in our private chat, if you've got a link to the specific one.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. I kind of think it's
I can pull
cool
it up.
to, yeah, I like using the covers is because like I was saying, like it's hard to make these Christmas characters look like epic. So I kind of the last couple of covers I've tried to like reference Jim Lee covers or like classic comic book covers that people know of, so the characters look more like heroic, I guess you could say. Like, because when you see Rudolph or like Frosty the Snowman, they're always smiling and stuff like that. So it's not really going to fit a comic book aesthetic, So that's kind of the whole idea of like putting them in like a strange kind of like comic booky pose. Here, I'll send it. Here, it should be.
Once you get there, I guess Days of Future Past will have to be one where you've got Santa and Jack Frost and everybody on wanted posters.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. That would be so cool. Or like a Todd McFarlane thing where it's like Spider-Man crouching, but instead it's like some elf. I don't know.
I was envisioning like a Kirby style cover where you have the villain with the arm outreached and the fingers are tapering to the edge of the comic coming toward you, and you just have the armies of dudes, flying out in like little machines and stuff with the with that classic Kirby circle background.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's so many cool covers you can kind of homage and
There's the homage.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely, and it's one of the things that I really enjoy. It's definitely an homage and not just like an almost like panel for panel rip. Like I really enjoy that when it's done properly and it doesn't just feel like, oh well, you just kind of like trace the cover and replace some elements.
And then actually the other cover, let me see if I can find the other reference. The actual cover for the book, let me see. It's a Justice League Jim Lee cover. We kind of tried to capture, we tried to kind of make it similar to it. Trying to find it here if I can.
The candy cane shotgun is just awesome.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that like the coolest thing? Like, I want one.
I got your peppermint right here.
Oh, here we go. This is the cover here.
I'm your Huckleberry. Actually, no. Shit. What would it be? I'm your mistletoe.
that
cover. Now that's a good note there.
That cover right there is actually a reference to Justice League New 52, number 8, number 12, I think, or number. I'm not quite sure, but when you see the cover, you can kind of see like it's definitely similar, for sure similar. So we're trying to like I said, like put these goofy looking characters into more serious definitely comic book.
Definitely use every trope you can to your advantage.
I mean, it also kind of infers the personality of your book because if you do the comparison between the New 52 book and the Bric-a-Brac cover, the guy that's in the Flash position is your main character. So it's like your main character is still the hopeful, fun one. Right.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
surrounded by this not hopeful, not fun environment where everything is taken to 11.
Yeah.
And the color palette switch is amazing. How that was pulled off so well.
Yeah.
The color palette's almost inverted, and it just works so well.
Yeah. So, just a cool little side thing about the covers. It's just, I wondered how people thought about that. Like if they noticed it. I just kind of like pointed out because like. You don't technically notice it at first because that's not necessarily like a famous Jim Lee cover or anything. It's not like I'm like doing X-Men #1 or anything like that. But it's still
and the thing is you see so many like trope covers and homage covers and stuff like that you kind of become numb to it. But when it's done on something like this, it really does stand out, and it's not something that we were pressed for time, so the cover artist just knocked off that one cover again.
I mean, We certainly saw it, but then again, we every so often we stop bullshitting around and start actually doing our job. And it's like,
Well,
oh,
they
wait.
do. Don't let them lie about me.
Oh, I don't know. We had there was another comic recently where the cover were so contentious that I was like, here, we got to go talk about this, and we, for a good hour and a half, dug into these two covers trying to figure out what they were actually trying to do. And that's the thing is, your covers, there's no confusion, right? There's no like, why did they choose this position? Why did they choose this figure in this position or in this thing? It's like, no, everything is very on point. It's saying exactly what it is. So even if it is a reference, and referential is fine because you're inspired, but you're not emulating, or you're not simulating, rather. We don't have any questions about, well, why is this background like this? It's like, no, the background is the way it is because obviously that's how it's going to be.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, nope.
I mean, I am a
Wrong
bit
clip.
confused, not knowing characters, as to whether your armored knight guy is a good guy or one of the bad guys.
It's kind of like he's both in some ways. Like we'll get
the
to know a
character-
little bit more about him.
The characters in Bric-a-Brac have this interesting tendency to be very gray, Rune.
Well, it's just that on one cover you have him alongside the good guys, like they're gonna go fight the big bad, and then you have this awesome cover where he's surrounded by fire and there are other night guys, and it's like, no, clearly we're destroying Christmas.
Right.
It's like,
So it's kind of like a. Yeah, I mean, this cover is like they kind of have to team up against a secret enemy that's kind of been, like I said in the trailer a little bit, there's like a secret enemy that's been kind of forcing all of these people to fight in some way. He wants to, his goal is to take over the galaxy, and he's basically realizing there's a resource on planet Christmas that's very valuable to him, and he's just trying to cause havoc.
It's unobtainium.
I was gonna say, is it the happiness of children?
It's
No,
the
it's
Christmas spirit.
Is it Christmas magic? Yeah.
It is, yes, it
it's,
is.
It's unobtainium, guys. Don't lie. It's that same shit from Avatar.
Vibranium. Or no, that's.
Oh no,
kind of
everybody's got vibranium these days.
Yeah, I
You gotta get on
know.
the unobtainium train.
Look,
That's that,
look, man.
that new crypto
no,
shit.
it's all about that tinsel. Tinsel can cut through anything.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, but it's but you're right.
Tinselanium.
I mean, there was one elf that they totally made his skeleton tinselanium.
So
That would
let
be
me
like a Wolverine character. Let me go-
Yeah.
go ahead and finish going through these tiers real quick.
He's
so
weapon
everybody-
He's weapon Xmas.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
nice.
Oh, dude, that's amazing.
That's fantastic.
That has to be like some kind of like a backup story or something now.
That is amazing.
Weapon Xmas.
Yeah, Rune, do you give that away for free? I mean, let's just give that to him.
I mean, as long as I like get like a special thanks in the credits somewhere in the back when that appears. It's like special
I mean,
thanks to-
I feel like they could base the character off your profile picture.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to see if that's already a thing. It sounds like it would totally be a Deadpool thing or something like
It
that.
should
you know?
be.
Well, if anybody's done it, it's Don Chen, and I'm sure he's easy to get along with. But we've got the physical bundle for $30 that we talked about. That's one of everything, including the pinup and all digital copies. You've got just a digital offer here for $8. A little more than normal on the digital, but again, well worth it, and it goes to supporting a good cause. Probably also helps cover some of the cost of doing those bundles for Boys and Girls Club. And shipping. God, shipping's so awful. You've got a digital bundle that's 3 books for $20. Can't go wrong there. Let's see. Then you've got T-shirts and long sleeves of the first cover, right? The primary cover.
Yeah. Yes, the primary one.
We've got the Boys and Girls Club order that we talked about for $45. And then you've got a very interesting tier that doesn't seem to have a limit on it, and I'm wondering how you're going to deal if a lot of people just decide that they want to include their ideas. Like, how much room do you honestly have for this?
Well, every year it's usually about maybe 10 people. Sometimes, hopefully, we'll get it up by the time the campaign ends. But I'll show you an example here. I'll just put my camera on here.
Okay.
So in the last issue, we had a couple of people put their things on. Let me just find a page where we have that here. So right here is a good example. So someone had a character named the Tin Soldier, the character they created that they wanted to put in. So we put him in. This is actually like a likeness of someone. So then we put that in. One of our backers, our awesome backers. And then this is also a likeness of a couple kids, some kids of one of the backers. He wanted to have them in. And it's just cool stuff like that, And I think there's another example back here too of here. There's, if you know who Nerd Wonder is, she's on Twitter. This is Sugar Chris. Do you know him? He's in like Indie Vault and stuff like that too, and he contributed, and so it's just really cool having those people in there, and it makes the book feel like a little bit more. I would say fantastical. Like, it's cool to have a book where it's fantasy and sci-fi and really anything goes, unless it's kind of like devilish or it doesn't fit the world. A lot of things can go in the background, and I think it makes the book feel.
Are you telling me you would tell somebody they couldn't put their dildo wearing gimp suit in the background of your book?
Yeah.
Draw the picture, bigot.
Look, church. It's not a dildo. It's a giant candy cane.
That's right.
Oh my. Yeah, I mean, there are limits to these things, There's some limits.
But
I totally understand. But no, I really enjoy that, and it's not at a breaking price point either. It's under $100.
Yeah,
and you still get one of everything with that tier.
Yes.
So.
For sure.
So, I think that's about it on the actual campaign page. But is there anything you wanted to talk about specifically? I know you're on a little bit of a time limit, so I don't want to hold you to all night.
Yeah, I just want to say if you could share it, and hopefully we can reach this goal, make a Christmas miracle. I think this issue is really fun. If you enjoyed, if you read the past issues and there's you like the fighting, I would say that this has the most fighting in the entire in the series so far, because it's a lot of factions going against each other, and so there's that to look forward to. Probably like a 10 to 12 page battle, and then just a lot of cool new characters we get introduced to and stuff like that too. A really fun book, and yeah, just share it if you can. If you can't back it, sharing, people don't really express how much sharing helps. Like a retweet, if you see it on Twitter or something and retweet it, it means so much. And that just gets the word out, gets people thinking about it, And
you can find that link in the description down below, along with Ryan's Twitter. So
for
you don't
sure,
have to go looking for it. You don't have to type it in off the screen. Just check the description down below. You've got the Indiegogo link and his Twitter. You can go on there and follow him for future updates, because this isn't your only thing you're working on, if I'm not mistaken. You have other titles, right?
Yeah, other stuff. Yeah, I have let's see, probably in March or something I'll be working on. I have collected all these short stories, about 15 to 20 short stories that are black and white, and kind of just stuff that I collaborate on with different artists that I'm going to put out. It's like an anthology series that I think I've told you guys about. We might have even done a show about it, I think, maybe once. But I think we did, actually. But
we did. I just wanted to bring it back up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know that was like a long time ago. But yeah, it was. That's a series that we'll probably be doing in like March or something. It's like a small little anthology that has a lot of fun stories. And one of the cool things about that one is it's written by one person. You get these Kickstarter anthologies that are all written by different people, and it doesn't seem to work very well, as a cohesive whole. So that's just kind of the idea with that series. But this is my focus right now, and hopefully we can get it funded and continue this series as far as we can, you know. So thanks again
Definitely.
so much for the opportunity to talk.
So
about
here's
it,
my
too.
question: do you think you can get this out by Eastern Orthodox Christmas? That would be kind of a funny
Oh no,
turnaround
no.
schedule.
Estimated delivery is February 2022.
February. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
so he actually gets it out before Eastern Orthodox Christmas.
Is that what time is that? When is that?
Give me a second. Let me Google that.
Because I know Epiphany is like the extension of Christmas in the Christian calendar.
Oh no,
But-
Eastern Orthodox use a pre-Gregorian calendar for a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Huh.
our man Larry here is the 6-pointer on the scene.
Actually, Eastern Orthodox Christmas this year's in January.
Oh. then
It's one of
never
those.
mind.
It's one of those holidays that bounces around.
It's,
Wow.
It's going to be out well before Christmas next year, though, and it's a
Exactly.
perfect gift. It's a perfect gift for Taxmas time when you want to remind people why you haven't taken your tree down. Oh, I was just waiting on this book. So, I mean, if you need an excuse to leave your tree up
That's
until next
true.
Christmas,
Okay,
Oh, that's a great excuse.
so Ryan, before you take your leave, before you run away, I have to tell you something.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna not do it because money's a thing and it is the season and I got things to buy, but I did it. I did it.
Oh, thank you so
I
much.
have. Oh no, I didn't just back. I dropped the 90. We got to make Weapon Xmas a thing now.
Also,
Oh, really? Are you serious?
wow.
Yeah, he's in there.
He did.
also
He did
what I
wait.
also what I
Wow.
really like when someone's in a position like you are, if it's a campaign where I didn't back the first issue and there's like 3 and you got like a 3-issue pack deal, those are always the way to go.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's the bundle, the added character deal, or the digital bundle. There's three options to get all 3 books.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's I have that as the featured tier because you know when someone comes on like the page for the first time and they don't know anything about it, that's the first tier they see. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know why that, but it's people have told me, oh, you should put your most expensive tier as the featured tier. I'm like,
No,
why?
why?
No, that's a horrible idea. I don't know.
Lure them in with something they can afford, and then gradually
Yeah.
raise their expectations.
Precisely.
But yeah, that's the least one
Yeah.
backer we got you. So
Thank
Merry
you so
Christmas.
much. Thank you. And,
So-
yeah,
yeah, you got to get it. You got to get in Ryan's DMs to work
Yeah,
out
definitely,
the
definitely.
Weapon
Wait.
Xmas.
do
Yeah.
we follow each other on Twitter? Yeah, I think we do.
So let me give
Right,
you
uh-huh.
let me give you a cool little thing that happened in the Doctor Who Christmas role playing game I mentioned. We had to fight giant gingerbread men, so we did that with getting like cappuccino machines and making them into spray cannons.
The gingerbread men under the ice.
Yeah.
That is
Oh
awesome.
man. Oh yeah.
I need
The
to watch that
gumdrop-
episode because I've been trying to.
No,
watch...
no, it was a role playing game, was it not?
Oh.
Yeah, it was a role playing game of Doctor Who we did, but yeah, like you could like have like giant spray cans of hot chocolate to disable the snowman and the gingerbread man.
Wow.
Look, the obvious answer is that the gospel needs to become like a writer's room, and people need to like give
Oh,
us
flaming
I know.
gumballs.
Small
Flaming
bits and be
gumballs
like-
out of trebuchets?
yes.
Imagine how bad hot jelly would suck.
Oh yeah. It's hot sugar and it sticks to you.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and it
And there's
clumps
also-
together the enemy forces. Giant
Yeah, but-
flaming gumballs fired from trebuchets.
But remember, because it's flaming, it'll melt the sugar, right? So you put that with like pretzel, for the chocolate covered pretzel type thing. You fire pretzel dust onto people, so now they got burning sugar and burning salt.
It seems awful, Rune.
Yeah.
I mean, it's me.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch Christmas specials every day. Like, I need some more recommendations. I don't know. I haven't.
What,
Well-
Christmas movies?
Specials, like just 30
Oh.
minute specials. I've been trying to get more into
no.
the mood. And,
Oddly enough, I don't know if you have Netflix, and I mean it's Netflix, yeah. But there's a Shaun the Sheep Christmas special that's quite fun by the guys
Okay.
from Ardmouth.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom likes the Banana Mouth people, so we checked that out. It was fun.
Awesome.
But then again, my mom and I we're in that classification of weirdos. We're like, nah, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. We watch it every year. I don't know if I can imagine.
The Last Boy Scout is also a Christmas movie.
Yes. And Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Lethal Weapon. I recognized that this year. I was like, wait, this literally happens on Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that is like okay. So my mom and I do it to torture my old man, who's dead, but we still do it. We watch action movies for Christmas. We're like, my dad's like, I want to watch Rudolph and Frosty and all these old things. It's like, yeah, we can watch those, and then we're gonna watch Die Hard. It's like, that's not a Christmas movie. It's like, yeah.
Well, hey, do you remember how Rudolph was a key plot element of the Orville?
I do not.
So they had the episode where the genderless aliens had a transgender baby issue.
Yeah, I saw that.
And one of them had to learn, what being different meant, and he learned it through watching the Rudolph special.
Oh, yes, I remember that. Oh, that's amazing.
So
does that mean now the Orville is a Christmas movie?
No.
Okay.
No, but I did find one last Christmas tidbit that I wanted to share with you guys, and then
you mean one last bit of bric-a-brac that you found?
Yes. We're all familiar with the Christmas story.
Awesome.
And the infamous leg lamp.
That is great.
This is our version.
That is so great.
Look, Christmas is clearly just a celebration of how Darth Vader died and returned for your sins.
It should really be like Darth Vader's leg, or like I was just thinking.
Well, no, C-3PO was in pieces originally. Remember?
That's true. But how many legs have Obi-Wan Kenobi taken off people? Like, there's at least two people who he's just completely taken their legs off of, and both of them got them back. Wait, didn't he chop off General Grievous's legs? Or no, that was in a deleted scene. Because there was a deleted scene where he was gonna chop off literally every.
I think you're just revealing.
Yeah.
I think you're just kink shaming Obi-Wan right now.
I know, right? Just literally chopping off everyone's legs. I don't know. That's his only tactic.
What's he got in his hobo hovel on Tatooine? It's just a bunch of legs.
Oh, I saw a meme of that. Where it's like he has the arms of the guy from Mos Eisley, and then he has the leg, the torso of Darth Maul.
Oh, Jesus.
He has a lot of different things. General Grievous's head, or
It's not a hobo hobble. It's a serial killer den.
Yeah, look, absolutely.
That's one of the things that I never really enjoyed about the whole Star Wars thing is that when they did the animated series and they brought Darth Maul back.
Oh, I love
it. I was just but why? Yeah, why does Darth Maul need to come back? He has a perfectly good brother to avenge his death.
Oh, no, it's hilarious. That's not even their fault. That is a combination of George Lucas and Dark Horse Comics' fault.
Oh, but Darth Maul, did you see the newest season, though?
I did not.
Okay, well then you need to check it out because Darth Maul, it's pretty cool, man. It's cool to have him back. And then he's going to be in the Obi-Wan series probably. And then in Rebels, he comes back too. It's really good. It's some good stuff, I think.
I remember
you've got a yellow version of him that can just easily take the place of it, and you don't.
But he dies.
Darth Maul could die, and he could not. I mean, from a
Darth
writing
Maul's
perspective.
No. Here's the thing. This is even sillier than that, Church. I remember less than a week after Episode 1 came out, because I saw Episode 1 in theater with my parents, right? I was in the Danger Room, the local comic shop that actually does comics in my area. And on the wire rack was a Dark Horse comic called, for Legends of Star Wars Legends, or whatever name nomenclature they were using. And literally, the Sith ghosts, or Sith wraiths more accurately, were uncertain as to Darth Vader's true adherence to the dark side because he was not of the blood, right? But Darth Maul was. So they lured Vader to a remote planet that was strong in the dark side, and they summoned Darth Maul back from death to have the two of them hash it out. Vader versus Maul. Less than a week.
Vader's obviously going to win.
Yeah, Vader won because it was pre Return of the Jedi, but still, it was a fun book. But this was before they even had the whole Darth Maul lives and comes back with robot
That's
legs
actually really interesting. But you're right. The thing in Dark Horse too, they did like a whole thing where Darth Maul came back and like in Tatooine and stuff because he was trying to find Luke in that and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I honestly just wish. I think General Grievous is cool. Like I wish he would come back. You know, he's one of the coolest guys. I feel like his character was.
Last year, when my father passed, we got a sizable chunk of money because I had to sell my house. So my mom and I went crazy about this time of year. We spent about $1,000 a piece on Christmas stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I bought way too many minis. I bought basically a starter for a game called Star Wars Legions, right? Mm-hmm. And the starter that I got was the Clone War.
Yeah.
Because Clone War is more interesting to me than Rebellion era, 100%. Right? And it's like, okay, Mom, you can have the Republic and the clone troopers. I'll take the droids. So I have a General Grievous, and my mom has a Obi-Wan Kenobi. We just have to get around to painting them.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
I mean, well, at the same time, because they had just come out with certain changes, I went and purchased a bunch of Legion's Mandalorian stuff. So I've got a Boba Fett, and I've got some Clan Reverend with the jetpacks. And then because I was losing my mind, of course, it's like, well, if I'm getting Vader and I've got Dooku, I gotta get the Emps. And if I'm gonna get the Emps, I gotta get his honor guard, because you can't have the Emperor without his red honor guard. It's just not right. Way too much money spent at Christmas.
I'm gonna head out. I have work tomorrow morning, but I really appreciate you guys chatting with me about the book. I really do. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
You can always come back and waste more time with us. We don't mind.
No. Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely will try to make the rounds again, because it's nothing. It doesn't hurt spreading the word and all that. So thanks again, guys.
Always, buddy. Good to see you again.
You too.
So that was Bric-a-Brac. I think that was you guys' first introduction to it.
It was.
Yes, although I'm told the guy's been on the show before, but I'm for life of me, I cannot remember meeting him previously at all.
That's because we did 2.5 years worth of show before you were involved with it.
That's what I thought. I thought it had to have been before my time, but he kept saying, like, well, I've been here before. It's like, have you? Have we?
Yeah, we have.
But no,
I think he was on to talk about his compilation while you were kind of newish.
Possibly.
But yeah, fucking Ayrton, man. I don't know what. I mean, he of all people knew we were doing the show tonight.
Yeah, I can only assume either alcohol or women. Those are the two things that would distract him from show.
I mean,
because either one of those have stopped him before.
I mean, yes. Look, the only reason we didn't have this show last night, Church, was because you had tornadoes. I think tornadoes is actually beyond the pale.
Well, to be fair, my specific area didn't have tornadoes. They had severe storms with tornado warnings.
Right, but there were other areas nearby that had massive tornadoes.
Which caused the internet oopsie doopsies.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've explained to you guys before, my internet line is just completely fucked. So, I mean, the wind blows a little too hard. It just is like, hey, fuck your internet.
Is that your problem with Ayrton? Are you using the same string that he's using for his styrofoam cup?
No, it's a different string. I at least use silver twine.
Oh, okay. That next level.
So, did you want to discuss Cowboy Bebop a little bit, Larry?
Well, sure. The thing I have to say is, I'm impressed that something could make all the wrong decisions, but not make any interesting decisions. None of the characters were the same characters from the show, even remotely. Though some of the characters were doing the beats from other characters in the show. They took iconic scenes out of 25 episodes and condensed them into 10, and then tried to rebuild episodes around those iconic moments. And so the pacing was kind of goofy. There was lots of weird sex stuff. Including an assassin called the Eunuch, who makes other people eunuchs and then saves what he removes for personal eating later.
Which was never in the show to begin with. Like, that is something they came up with. Holy shit.
That was super weird. Super weird.
That's not the weirdest, though. I'm
First
still...
question. The anime was a half an hour, right? It was a half-hour episode, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, how long was the television show?
25, 24 episodes.
How long was the television show?
24 episodes.
No.
Okay,
The Netflix series. How long were
the
individual
anime
hours.
was about 30 minutes
1
each
hour.
episode.
1 hours.
So you're really only missing about 5 episodes worth of content. You could
Right,
just
but you
strip
see,
some
they-
of the
they
flack
only
out
take-
and really hold on. You could strip some of the flack out of the anime that wouldn't necessarily translate well to a live action, and still kind of go beat for beat in the same storyline in the same time frame, if you wanted to. Just 2 episodes an episode, basically.
Yeah, but you see, here's the thing. They didn't take the whole episodes out. They just took iconic scenes. And they didn't put all of the thematic stuff.
I get
that
what
makes...
they did. I'm just saying that they literally had the option to basically do the anime in live action almost beat for beat, and they just chose not to because they hate money.
Well, no, they didn't do that because they felt everybody would reject that. And
It's
then
literally
they decided...
the only thing people want when they adapt something.
I mean, I think you could have just made random other adventures of the Bebop crew, and it would have been fine.
Look, guys, you have to understand, okay? We are talking about a scenario where every time mass media, the corporate level, learns the lesson, they have to relearn the lesson, okay? With Marvel in their early phase through to Endgame, right? They learned that they could diverge, but there's a range, there's a limit to how far you can diverge, where you have to snap back to core, right?
Right. When you make the Mandarin a pushover, you have to redeem him in a television show later on called Shang-Chi.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The thing is,
rehabilitate your shitty mistakes in later endeavors if you make them.
The thing is that for every time that they learn this, and it's like, oh look, this worked, right? They either say, okay, we're going to do the exact same thing over again, and they fail to understand that that's never going to work, right? Or their little thought process is, I'm going to do the exact same thing over again, but all different. And it's like, you can't do all different and same. That's not how that goes. And so in this scramble to be creative, they're like, all right, I'm gonna reinvent the wheel the whole time, and they'll love it like they love the old thing. And I'm gonna add stuff on it that you didn't even want because you didn't know you wanted it. I want to know the following, all right, relative to Cowboy Bebop. Okay, so I had seen still photography of Gren, and I was like, that's dumb. But I got it, because it's like, okay, they're going to do some trans person to be Gren, because Gren, the character, is trans, right?
Not really, but kinda.
No, they are. Biologically, they have been altered. It's like, fine, whatever, I don't care, right? Because I was never going to watch the show.
Well,
okay?
here's the real rub.
No, because you already told me, and I'm walking up to that.
Well, no, there's another part to that.
I want to know, how is it that this is forward-thinking, positive depiction for your improvement, that this is a good thing, and you should be excited for it, when you gave Gren a dog dick? What is the positive to dog penis? Because now, when I take this program to somebody else and say, hey, how do you feel about trans people? Let's watch a depiction of trans people on TV. They're going to be like, wait, are they all sex perverts who want dog dicks? That's what they're going to think. You just played yourself.
Well, here's the even more disturbing thing. They added Gren into Season 1 as a last-minute decision because they decided to make Gren a big deal in Season 2.
Okay. The season 2, that's not going to happen.
Right.
Right.
But they already wrote everything out for season 2.
Mhm.
They already had the budget for the new sets and everything.
Church, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. I'll redo the Powerpuff Girls script before I'll do the Cowboy Bebop script. You know he's rubbing his hands together and chuckling evilly into them.
I couldn't hear you, Rune. I was too busy looking up the script for Cowboy Bebop.
You fucker. I knew it! I knew it!
I mean, I've not made a good enough connection to get access to the season 2 script.
Oh no, it'll get leaked. It'll absolutely get leaked. Because here's the thing. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was canceled. Do you think Corpo's given up on it?
Well, I think Corpo's going to try to do a Save Our Show campaign.
No, they absolutely are. Some corpo somewhere is like, okay, well, look, maybe we can play the controversy. Maybe we just need to let it sit, and we need to see if we can start grassroots to make them get back, because we're going to say, if we had a season 2 all lined up, that would have made everything good, and people are going to be dumb enough to buy it. And the worst part is that for at least a fraction of the community, they are 100% correct. Some dumb fuck is going to say, I want to see it.
Be on the lookout for that transactor that had the dog dick for taking any flights to Chicago with 2 Nigerians.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing. They actually said that Gren wasn't trans; she was non-binary.
Right. That is their out. That is the elective out. Look.
We're even more progressive than having a trans character. We're having a non-binary character.
Here's the thing. 30 years ago, okay, the 90s, when gay was a big thing, because the push was that gays deserved equal rights, specifically to marry under the law, which they fucking do. Okay? Like, no doubt. So every so often, somebody would bring up the reasonable thing. It's go, well, wait a minute. All of your depictions are gay men. Where are the lesbians at? Right? Or somebody would say, okay, you have lesbians, but they exist purely for being sexy on screen. Where's your gay dudes at? Right? People were basically pointing out that it's like, sure, you're trying to raise the olive branch by having a depiction, but they're depictions that do not serve that community or those identities. They are depictions that serve traditional roles in traditional ways. Right.
Hold up, dog. You have this lesbian, but what about bi women? Well, we can't have the bi women be there for male sexual pleasure. They have to be bi, but also never do anything that make men happy.
Right. So here's how this plays out. It's like, all right, we're going to have a trans, in the corpo office, we're gonna have a trans character. Okay, well. But we can't have a trans character. Why not? Because if we have a trans character, we have to say if they're trans male to female or female to male. It's like, okay. And if we don't have both, we're going to have somebody be mad at us. Now, nobody says the smart thing. Nobody says, who says? Because the answer is it doesn't matter who says. Somebody's going to be mad somewhere, and one person translates to 10 million people in the escalation of Corpo Brain. Right? So it's like, wait a minute, guys. What if we said they're non-binary? Then they can be both things and nobody cares. And it's like, that's not how anything works. That's not how reality works. And the fact that there are people that are actively trying to push this narrative because they want to be non-binary so they can feel good about themselves and their sexual dysmorphia is stupid.
I will say, however, after letting the show sit in my brain, there was one mildly interesting thing that they did do.
Okay.
The assassin who turns into the European clown.
Right.
Character. He's actually able to pilot Ein like a drone.
How?
Because he's got a network of dogs that he can pilot like drones.
Right,
and Ein's one of them.
No. See, the thing is that is the best episode of Bebop.
No, that's the most interesting thing they did.
No. In the anime, there are several good episodes. The Aliens episode is fun, okay? Mm-hmm. But the best episode is actually the horror episode with the giant dude who's a murder machine, right? And it's like, okay, first of all, how is he an assassin? Because he was never an assassin.
Well, he's an assassin because he was a brutal killer in the Titan Wars, and they recruited him into the Syndicate, but he was too crazy for the Syndicate.
No, see, they made that shit up. That's bullshit.
I know.
That's not the character.
I know.
The character was a volunteer for a government experiment, and the experiment drove him fucking crazy, Looney Tunes. Right? And the thing is like, yes, he started killing people for money, but by the time he's in the show, as Jet fucking points out, because Jet does the legwork that Spike doesn't, it's like, eventually he was just murdering people for the sake of murder. He was literally a serial killer. Spike fought somebody who was just as
into killing,
unwilling to yield as himself. Because Spike's not into killing, but Spike also will not give up on a fight.
Now, in the live action series, Jet didn't do the legwork. He had a gilf do it for him.
Right, because Jet's stupid.
Well, no, it's not that he's stupid. It's that the gilf is very good at getting information.
No, I'm just saying, like, that is the subtle intimation. It's like, well, Jet must be dumb. It's like, no, Jet's good. He's just frustrated by paperwork. Because in show, that was Jet's thing. It's like, no, he'll sit at a computer and try to push buttons and figure it out. He's just giving himself headaches while doing it, but he can do it.
Yes, but the whole subplot with Jet and the gilf was really bizarre.
Is this the person that's like, black male? Is that the...
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
That's revolting.
Straight up, everybody needs a PS5, man. Just don't knock his hustle.
You gonna buy me a PS5, Church?
No, man, it's the Sugar Mama gilf.
And,
I'm not familiar with this. I'm not familiar with this joke.
You know, when the 21-year-old has to shack up with the 60-some-odd-year-old so that she'll buy his PS5 for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we can all shack up with Sandra Bullock, though.
But the gilf is one of many very weird fetish things that are major plot components. Like, they changed the person who stole Faye's money, which wasn't what was in the anime, of course, but they changed that person to a woman, a female con artist, who was the wife of a Russian arms dealer, and the Russian arms dealer gets turned on by her trying to steal from him and run away.
Yeah. Y'all ever heard of boo cake?
So that right there is a bizarre fetish thing. There's the gilf that we mentioned. There's the Alabama anaconda that's being used by a German dominatrix.
Also, for anyone in the chat or watching this on replay, no, I am not snorting cocaine at vigorous amounts. My left nostril is completely stopped up.
There's the tree semen.
That's not what it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's no tree semen in my nostril either.
See,
we're talking about the show, the tree semen.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I have run into this more than once. This notion of people that want there to be free love and free sex and no guilt. And I almost agree with them. Like, people should sleep with whoever they want to, and people should totally be able to play whatever party games they want to. That's their business, right? But
yeah, whatever happens between you and the gimp and the cat, as long as the cat's consensual, it's fine.
I mean, the cat not consenting is part of the fun, but okay. The thing is that I don't understand.
We can't joke about that. You always get consent from the cat first.
Well, if the cat doesn't consent, the cat will tell you with claws. The cat will be very vocal about it. But no, the thing is that I don't understand.
Roy.
I don't understand the people in media. They're like, okay, it's gonna be a free love scenario. Okay, people are gonna be very open about their sexuality. Okay, now let's have utter degeneracy on the screen. It's like, whoa, wait, this is for the straights. This is for the normies. This is for Nielsen's.
Yeah, you
You're-
need to make those people accept us for our weird tastes in things.
Well,
you,
is it? Isn't it? Isn't it something that we can say? I mean, I like to think that we're all fairly well read. I mean, all of us have read books. All of
Mhm.
us know degenerate authors. Rune and I are very familiar with George R. R. Martin. I'm not sure how familiar you are with him, Larry.
I
But,
mean, we've all heard the jokes that were on South Park and in Saturday Night
actually,
Live about George.
we haven't. Small admission here. I haven't watched South Park since I was 16 years old.
I've
Oh, wow.
I've never watched South Park except for select episodes people tried to force me to watch to make me like it, and I'm like, I don't like South
It's
Park.
kind of like The Simpsons. I just kind of gave up on it when I stopped being a teenager.
You know when I gave up on South Park when it came out because it's like no little kids saying swears and being made of paper is not funny to me.
Well, Chef Salty Chocolate Balls were, but you know.
Yeah, but that's because
Moving on.
Chef is amazing regardless
George
of
R.
what he's in.
George R. R. Martin, well, I mean, Scientology being whatnot. George R. R. Martin is definitely a degenerate, though, right? We can all agree on that.
Oh,
Well,
something else from the show of note. Spike set up a rule that you're not allowed to kill kids.
hail,
Then he killed
hail
a kid,
Edwin the Ace. How's it going, buddy?
and he didn't kill the immortal kid that was created by the jump gate explosion. He just killed a random kid who saw him kill a whole cartel of Uranian criminals.
So
Why?
He's Todd from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But why?
Well, because she saw him kill the Uranian
But
syndicate.
why?
Because that was what it took for him to realize he
But-
didn't want to be a criminal anymore.
But why?
I don't know.
No,
It was an inexplicable decision
Look,
that doesn't fit the character.
Look,
Well,
I'm
we
gonna-
haven't gotten to my point yet.
Okay.
George
Yeah,
R. R.
well-
Martin is obviously a degenerate, right?
Right.
And we can all pretty much agree on that.
Sure.
I
Big
mean,
fat man likes poon he can't have. Okay.
Not only that, but you know, incest fantasies in Game of Thrones. You know, basically the most powerful character in the universe of Wild Cards is a pimp and an sexual invalid.
Right.
The two different characters that are the most powerful beings on the planet, and one of them can't get it up unless he's in a fucking giant shell, and the other one's a literal pimp that fucks for power.
Right.
Even that doesn't get as degenerate as some of this new woke media shit does.
Well, see, here's the thing. There was a show on FX a while back called Lex. Okay? And the entire structure of Lex was that it was about the interplay between human drives, especially the sexual drive, right? And human mechanization. The idea that our modern society was extremely regimented and structured and like non-human, right?
Non-human.
Yeah, you know, society says be a robot, but you have these biological drives towards sex and death that you don't know how to manage, right? And I didn't care for the show, but it didn't manage the material badly. But there was another show that did, and people have forgotten that this show exists. It was called Tripping the Rift. Okay? Now, I love the actress who played Jadzia Dax on Star Trek, but holy shit, that was an animated abortion. Okay? If you ever saw it, which was literally a group of space losers.
It's literally illegal in Texas now.
What?
Animated abortions.
Oh yeah, no, totally. But Tripping the Rift was literally about a bunch of scummy space adventurers and their gay robot, and the sex bot that won't bang the captain, who's a sleazy slimeball, wandering around having idiot adventures in space. Okay, and that show died. Like, you would think people will put together that it's like if you approach sexual content in a sloppy way, nobody cares. If you approach it in an intelligent way, nobody cares, but they might at least appreciate what you did.
Nobody's going to appreciate anything in this day and age, Rune. Let me just depreciate that for you immediately. Either you're rolling with the woke crowd and normal people are looking at you like, why are you fucking this up? Or you're not rolling with the woke crowd and they're looking to cancel you. Nobody's ever going to be happy ever again. At least until the status quo is at least somewhat reimagined and brought back to whole.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. Let me pull something up for you guys. The reason that this shit makes no sense, okay, is because you have to ultimately ask the question, who is this material for, right? And I want to know who is the purchasing public that wants this level of degeneracy? Because let me tell you, the answer is nobody. The
Well,
answer
the point
is absolutely
the point
nobody.
isn't that they want it; it's that you need to normalize that behavior.
You can't normalize this.
Yes, you can.
So I'm gonna read you guys the description from Drive-Thru RPG of an RPG. Okay? Because it is
Okay.
relevant to this conversation. And
What
and
RPG is it?
the emphasis is not mine. The emphasis is in the description. Okay? It's called Farflung. This is by Sanguine Productions, the same people that do
Oh,
Ironclaw,
no.
the same people that turned away my book and never printed it. Okay? The same people that when I was in their Discord chat for their most recent release, Horn and Ivory, basically ostracized me for not being woke because I thought we were still allowed to make jokes about people being stupid. All right. We are pleased that you have come here. Let us tell you about your far-flung experience. It is a tabletop game about the ends of the universe, where nothing has been undone and everything is permitted. You will be one of the heroes who rages against the dying of the starlight, from transhuman Zetatech androids to the bewildered time traveler who can see new wonders, down to the humble robot who yearns for freedom. The only limits are your imagination. In a future where everything is possible, what makes for an interesting story? Farflung introduces you to a world of challenges, from the simplest of tasks to the most complex emotions. When space, time, death, life, hate, love, and everything else are passed beyond binary meaning, we will show you the many new stories that wait for you. And I could continue to read this cancer, but I really don't want to.
Get to the money shot.
Okay, you want the money shot? The money shot
Yeah.
is not in the text. The money shot is the fact that this is a Powered by the Apocalypse game with art by Mama Bliss. And I do not advocate anyone listening to this to go look up that name. Mama Bliss is a porn author who does particularly awful, degenerate, disgusting, vile art.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What is their claim to fame? Vor, cannibalism, giantism, and just squeaky art. And this was decided to be the thing that we're going to show people. They have a preview. They have a quick preview in Drive-Thru RPG.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the pages are going to be relatively clean, but I've seen this book. There's some horrifyingly disgusting art. There's a giant monster with like 8 tits and 7 mouths, and I want to know who is this for? Who buys this?
Well, it's not
Nobody
that
wants this.
It's not that it's for anybody. It's that it's asking the right questions and it's helping start conversations.
You know, people do not play role-playing games to start conversations.
Well, right. You don't start the conversations by playing the game. You start it by buying the book. And then you complain that nobody wants to play the game.
Why the fuck would I give you money for a product I'm not going to use?
Well, because then you get to be superior to other people who haven't bought the book. Because you're progressive in your views towards sexuality. And thus you
Why?
make them
What?
feel bad for not buying the book. And also being progressive.
My God, man. I don't know where to begin with how fucking bullshit everything you just said was, even if that's the thought process involved.
Mhm.
Okay, because this is the actual problem. All right, it's a product for no one
Mhm.
that no one wanted,
Mhm.
which is a fundamental failing of capitalism. It's like capitalism is an abusive system. Capitalism basically says there are goods and there are services, and people want them and will pay for them.
Right, and there are
Right?
people who want to feel progressive and buy things like that to make them feel progressive and to
Sure.
make them feel like they're superior to other people.
Right. So you make a game about that.
Well,
Make
no,
a
no.
game
Well,
about being.
no, you don't. You don't even have to, because even though they want to buy it, they have no income.
They have
Well,
no
no, no.
income, and more importantly, they don't have the 1 to 2 friends you require for a role playing game. Clearly.
Well, no. They don't want to play that game because everybody else is playing Dungeons and Dragons. If they played that game, they'd be different than everybody else. And if they're different than everybody else, they're of a lower social status.
Oh, I know. And that's the thing. It's like, let's all be different. We're all individuals. Let's all be the same. That's the.
All right. So you enter into a tavern, and you see 7 other tieflings. Introduce your characters.
I mean, I've done this joke. I sent you guys around the image. Okay, you got 3 tieflings. They're all different colors. They all are scantily clad. The one that's actually wearing clothes is in the corner, being edgelordy. But it's not because he's an edgelord. It's because he doesn't want to associate with those fuckers in the Bondo gear.
And my character is still a kobold monk with wings, an Erd,
Of
if you
course,
will.
Look.
that is the name.
Look, I'm just saying, you play a tiefling cleric who says that I have such sights to show you.
No, see, no, they wouldn't do that. I would do that. No, I would play a tiefling warlock cleric hybrid that is literally Pinhead and has such sights to show you. I will take you to the abyss and you will never return, for it has 666 layers of experience. That is something I would do. But at the same time...
Note to self, never try to solve a Rubik's Cube in Runes games.
The thing is that I would also never show on screen the results or the process of what is about to go down when you go into the magical hell realm of rape murder. Because nobody needs to see it. You just need to know what's happening. Right? That is not the same as you step into the tavern and you look over and you see 3 tieflings. One is wearing a schoolgirl uniform from an anime. One is wearing aught but a fucking man banana hammock, and one is wearing dominatrix gear with Playtex accoutrement, and they're all tittering together as they talk about the gold they're gonna make going on their adventure. And it's like, what adventure, guys? Because you guys don't look like you're equipped for anything except to die. At which point they get mad at you because you're an oppressive shitlord for reminding them that armor is supposed to cover your body.
I mean, if you're a barbarian or a monk or a sorcerer, you don't really need to worry about armor in those early levels.
No, you don't need armor in the late levels either if you're a monk.
Right, but there's a reason for that. It's called that your monk has a body that's fucking made of iron, and oh yeah, you're a dodgy fuck.
Not only that, but you can hit somebody 152 times before they've ever seen you.
But yeah.
I did have one thing that I wanted to cover before we signed off for tonight.
Okay.
Lacking a co-host and 2 guests, I feel like an hour and a half will cover it.
Bring it back to Sanity, Church. Bring us back to Sanity.
You guys know that we talk a lot about role-playing games, but my true passion is always going to be card games.
Yeah.
Well, I've discovered that you can get tournament passable proxies online from China, and I often will order a $2 version of a card that costs $60 from one of these outlets, because that's the same thing to do when it's a piece of cardboard, right? Right?
I mean, it's $2 for cardboard and lead.
Right. But the thing is you're still getting the lead if you get the official copy.
Look, you just accept you're going to get a certain amount of lead in your life.
Look, I eat lead sandwiches for breakfast, but
Yeah.
oh,
I-
we
I-
were talking about degeneracy because we were talking about Cowboy Bebop, Miss Rita.
Yeah.
Also, Celeste is good and all, but blood for the blood god, skull for the skull throne.
This is the correct answer.
Anyway, Magic the Gathering, I realized today that has become so outrageous that the cost to produce one of their cards, to produce a card, is actually less than 2 cents. Okay, it is somewhere between 1 cent and 2 cents to produce one of their cards cost. Because they produce them in, if I'm not mistaken, it is a 12 by 12 sheet that they print off on a Heidelberg press, which is what they print newspapers on. And then they cut that sheet down into individual cards. So you got a cost of 2 pennies into something, and yet I'm still paying $2 for a fake version of something that's been inflated to 60 some odd dollars. Or in other cases, over $1,000 because of a refusal to reprint or a refusal to print on demand in order to support a secondary market and basically create cardboard crack. Because if I actually wanted to purchase the cards to build the deck that I'm working on legitimately, it would be a $3,000 endeavor. But even illegitimately purchasing the card stock from a third-party Chinese vendor, it's still going to be over $150. And that, I believe, is what we like to call a barrier to entry in the collectibles and gaming category.
Oh!
What?
Church, you've done it! You've made it make sense. All of it is clear now.
What?
The reason for the hyper-degeneracy is that in an environment where there was no gatekeeping, because gatekeeping is bullshit, they're trying to build gates of revulsion so strong that they can keep out the normies.
Yes.
Well, no, they don't want to keep out the normies because they want the normies to join them.
No, they don't. No, because
they absolutely want the normies to join the degeneracy.
No. If the normies join, they lose their elite status. They want to create barriers of degeneracy so strong, normies don't want to go.
Well, no.
And traditional people involved like us don't stay, so they can make not just safe spaces but elite spaces where they can all be together by themselves and then judging us for not being involved.
You're both right, Rune. They do want the normies to come and get involved. They want to convert the normies because they know they're never going to convert people who have rational thought.
Right.
So,
and they also have degeneracy DLC. So once the normies fill up in the degeneracy, they then step up to their next degeneracy. That's why things like plushies are starting to come back into vogue.
Right, and that's where you eventually break your governor and find yourself searching for the most obscure degenerate shit in the world just to get your rocks off.
But this occurred to me, Church, because you were talking about Barda entry and you're talking about the fiduciary investment in cards, right? Or even if buying the knockoff is now an investment, right? I'm not kidding. I saw an ad for this morning when I got up.
It's literally, do I build this new Magic deck or do I replace the television that's been broken in my house?
There's a service, okay? The service exists to theoretically make my job as DM easier if I was doing like a D&D life, right? And it's called, I want to say Dungeon Fog, okay? And the idea is that you can pay $4.50 a month or you can pay $50 annual for this aid to map making, right? Now, I'll grant that digital map making is difficult, and I, in fact, did spend a fair chunk of change on a graph paper alike called Grid Cartographer quite some time ago. But at the end of the day, Okay, whenever I see those kinds of ads, I go, "Why would you ever pay for this?" And the answer is swag. People want their gamer swag. They want to look cool to other gamers and potential gamers, right? Because if you come to Joe's table and it's like, "Okay, Joe, what's your map going to look like?" It's like, well, you have two choices. Either I'm going to draw it here on the battle mat directly, on the grid, with dry erase markers, or I have this thing here. It cost me, $1.50. It's called graph paper, and I have these pencils. I have a shit ton of them already, and I literally took my free time before game outside of this circle and drew down the dungeon map so that I don't have to show you, and you don't get to see it. And they're like, but how am I supposed to understand game now? It's like, use your fucking imagination. That's what.
Well, I've made several maps for people because of the nature of my business, and
Sure.
there's been hundreds of people that I've turned on to the idea of you can take and print a grid out on paper, just on regular paper,
right?
Your home color printer to cover your table with. And then just take and lay a layer of saran wrap on top of it and use some dry erase markers.
Yeah. It's
really
not even
that easy.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm not gonna actually shit on player swag. Okay? I got lots of dice and weirdness and stuff, and I just bought a $90 character in a comic book. I have swag. Right?
I will shit on gamer swag a little bit because I keep seeing these cutout dice that are supposed to be balanced, and there's no fucking way.
Oh, sure. But what I'm talking about is like Elderwood Academy. Elderwood Academy has these dice boxes. They look real nice. They have these character boxes for your sheets and stuff, and they look real nice. They're real wood. They're handmade. Right? They're precision craftsmanship. It's like, no, you're literally paying for a rosewood box for your dice. It's gonna last forever. Why would you ever get this? The answer is it's gamer swag. I know it's gamer swag. I would still get it if I could. I wouldn't complain, right? But I'm also well aware. It's like, I will straight up say, I don't need it. It's optional gamer swag. It's EP and it means nothing. Don't do it. My dice, I keep my dice in a big fucking Ziploc bag with little Ziploc bags inside it because I've subdivided the dice into different sets in my Ziploc bag because I don't have any place better to put it.
If I can find my my stash of Crown Royal bags, I'll send you a care package, Rune, of a large Crown Royal bag, several medium, and then mini bottle bags.
Well, hold up. How much would it cost to make a Crown Royal bag?
To make one?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't even have to. Places like Got Print and shit like that already do it for you.
Right. But I mean, like, let's say we wanted to make one with Rune's smiling avatar face on it.
Is that what we're gonna call it?
You don't want to do that because the print would wear off. But let's say you wanted to make a customized one. Let's just look that up real quick.
Yeah.
Customized.
I mean, you could probably get one with like a little sewn in face into it or something.
Well, while you're looking,
you can get 50 pieces, I believe, customized velvet gift bags, starting at you can get little pouches. I believe starting how many are we talking here?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about an idea for swag.
Just getting one for one person or for a whole group?
I'm talking about let's say we wanted to sell this in the Church of Failure store.
$20 a head.
Yeah.
$20 a head, and it would have a custom logo on it. And it would be it would be a Christmas green, and it would have Gospel of Comics logo embroidered on it.
The thing is that I was getting at is that as this progresses, right, it is becoming less and less that gamer swag is optional and shows that you show affection for your game, and it's becoming you need this gamer swag to game when you don't, right, and that it's artificially creating a fiduciary based bar to entry, right? Well, I mean, do you have a gamer table?
Only amongst dick bags.
Well, yeah, right. But when you're a brand newbie and you don't know any better, right? If you're surrounded by dick bags,
oh, absolutely,
and the dick bags are like, well, you need a gamer table with cup holders and a LED screen, and you need a gamer jacket, you need a gamer bag for your dice, you need a gamer thing for your your papers and your pencils. It's like you don't need any of that shit, guy. You never
Well,
did.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you're always going to have your accessory whores that are going to show up with that stuff to anything they're just doing for the first time anyway. But when you have somebody who actually loves tabletop gaming and they sit down, this 12-year-old kid who stumbled into a shop and is fascinated by D&D, and they're like, "Hey, how can I join in on this?" And they just be like, "Show up Saturday with the pencil, kid. We got you."
Well, I mean, just as a
You don't
for
even
instance-
really need the pencil, but if you had your own, I wouldn't have to worry about losing one of mine.
Well, just as a for instance, we bought a couple of army boxes now, right? We finally have some plastic army boxes,
Yeah.
and that's nice. But
Harbor
we still
Freight
have-
sells those pretty cheap now.
let's say we still have more minis than that. So I literally went to Harbor Freight and I'm like, I'm buying the same kind of thing that you put screws and nails and nuts
Yeah.
and bolts and washers in.
I carry I actually carry one of my commander decks in one of those.
Yeah. And it's like, well, how are you going to put them in there? It's like, well, we're going to get some felt. We're going to put it in the bottom. We're just going to put all the minis in there. Done.
Oh no, I'll show you. I'll show you what I've got, and you actually might like
sure.
this.
Cool. But I'm just
let me
saying,
see.
like
See if I can get that
literally,
up.
you used to be able to come to people and be like, hey, how do you game in the DIY aisle of your local hardware store? Now they're like, no, you got to go to the gamer place to buy the gamer shit. It's like, you don't need to buy the gamer shit. You don't need to buy the gamer shit. No one says you had to. You buy it because you want it. Also, I think we put Larry to sleep.
Did Larry die?
No, but I'm still here. I've been listening. There's not been any good material for me to comment on.
Also, my mom has the best gamer swag. I am in fact jealous of my mom's gamer swag. But she didn't buy it either. A friend bought it for her because it was a gift. My mom has a bunch of dice, and she has a dice box. It is a clear plastic gelatinous cube. So all of her dice are in a gelatinous cube with a zipper mouth on top.
Nice.
I found a dice box that is a mimic. It looks amazing. It's also the quintessential gamer swag you don't need.
All right, there we go. This is what I use, Rune, for my commander decks, and you could probably just as easily use it for minis and other supplies like dice and shit for D&D. Let me just pull this up here, single out this window, share my window, don't need sound. There we go. All right, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's quite nice. I actually have one of those for just decks. It's got all the slots in it, and I've got a bunch of cards in one. I've had it for years.
But yeah, you see I carry my dice in it. I actually
Yeah.
took, if you take masking tape and you run it down the side of anything that's clear plastic, you can safely drill a hole without breaking the shit out of something.
Oh, nice.
So I drilled a couple of guide holes in the side of my my case, and then I made a dot on the side of the deck the playmat holder that's attached to it, and then connected that with some zip ties.
Yeah. So all your stuff is in one piece.
Yeah. So I can just I can just snap it closed and pick it up and go.
Yeah. What you can't see actually is that next to me here, there's this standing thing of chests, and like 2 drawers are just magic cards and stuff because I just found I can put it in a drawer and leave it long term.
Yeah.
But I just linked you guys a link to Amazon. This is the thing I found a while back. It is the kind of thing that I would get, but it is also, I freely admit, gamer swag I don't need. I don't need it. It just looks fucking cool. It is a dice storage that is literally a mimic.
Yeah. And it looks awesome, but
It does, but you don't need it.
It's not only that, but it's not conventional. I mean, it says it holds 5 sets of dice. How big is this fucking thing?
I'm presumably not very big, actually. 5 sets is a pretty small set. It's a bunch of dice. But see, that's the thing. It's like that's the thing you have on your.
No, I mean, you think about it. Let's go back to.
Actually, they might have the
image there.
Actually, they might have the dimensions on the page.
there are 5 regular sets of dice and then a shitload of miniature D6s in this box
Okay.
right here.
So I have the answer for you. This mimic thing is 7.9 by 6.1 by 5.9 in inches.
Right. I mean, that's huge when
Yeah.
you're considering table space.
Right. This thing,
So,
I
I
close
mean,
this up and I
it-
walk away with it. It's way
Yeah.
more conventional.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see the little tiny Crown Royal bag?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's usually what I carry my dice in.
Yeah.
And I can just dump it out in my rolling tray, which actually, when it's flattened, fits underneath these little containers in this box. So I can actually carry a dice tray in this too. Because I have one that snaps at all 4 corners. So, I mean, it's literally, it's about convenience and storage for me, because when you have 3 kids, you don't have a lot of space in your house.
Miss Rena has just said something very interesting while we're rambling away.
Yeah.
Said that they never found tabletop gaming interesting. They can't get into it. They prefer the interactivity of console gaming. To which I respond, you need the right group and the right game. Because I can't discredit that opinion on no, you see better visuals in a video game. But, I mean, I don't know how tabletop gaming isn't interactive. It is.
Well, it's about the right group of people.
Yeah, that's really the big thing.
And let's be honest, people fucking suck.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
it is it is that time.
at the same time, I mean, she's hanging out with us every week. Just mistakes were made.
Well, ladles and jelly spoons, it is that time. Somebody get us the fuck out of here.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
I am now discount Ayrton when Ayrton is not around.
Oof.
I am